Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar and welcome to Product Review. In today's video, I'm going to talk about file sharing. Now, I already made a 9-part series videos on Tornado servers, where you could convert your entire computer into a cloud server. You could access your computer from anywhere in the world using any device that has internet connection. I also talked about how to create guest profiles and how you could share specific files with your guests. So they could log in using their web browser in their guest profile, and then they could download only those specific files that you've attributed for them to be shared with. But the problem is, what happens when you have a very big file? By the way, how do you share files with your friends, your family, and your colleagues? Now, if it is a small document file or a presentation or a PDF or an image, sometimes a small music, maybe you could email it to your friends. And if the file size limit becomes more than 20 MB, services like Gmail will stop you from attaching that file. They'll say, okay, you got to upload it to Google Drive. And well, I tried Google Drive. I had to send a file to one of my friends for video editing. It was a raw footage, and I wanted him to see the final video that I captured, and I edited it, and I want him to edit it and see the final results of both. So we had to go back and forth, and that single file was 30 GB. Now I tried Google Drive, and I found out that Google Drive has certain limits for Word documents files, spreadsheet and presentations, certain maximum number of, maximum size of files. And they said 5 TB for others. So I assumed that this 5 TB meant that I could upload any file. But later on I found out that I could not upload my raw footage because it was not falling into the format in which they had said it should. They have certain video formats, and the raw footage that I had taken could not be uploaded because it didn't match with that format. So that was problem number one. Problem number two, the final edited footage that I wanted to send it to my friend was an MP4 file, and Google Drive does support MP4. And when I started uploading it, you can imagine how much time it would have taken for me to upload a 30 GB file. Well, what actually happened was, after an hour and a half, I was getting an error. It stopped uploading. It said Google Drive you could not upload the file to Google Drive or some such message. And it took me an hour and a half to get that message. And my hour and a half went completely waste. Now I assumed, or perhaps I wanted to assume like that, I thought, okay, let me upload it again and pick it up from the place where it dropped off. And to my surprise, I found that I had to upload right from the scratch. So 1 hour and a half went completely waste, and I wasn't still sure whether it is going to take that file. So their so-called claim of 5 TB doesn't work. I could not even upload a 30 gig file. Now the error could have happened from my side, but the fact of the matter is, even if an error happens, when you are giving a space of 5 TB, that means you're assuming people are going to upload huge files, and you should have a technique, some kind of a mechanism by which a person can resume the download. I mean, one doesn't have to start everything from scratch again. And that is the biggest problem with Google Drive. So that didn't work for me. And I really didn't want to go through this process again because I knew it was not going to work. Even though I have a decent upload limit of 4 Mbps, I have a leased line, so where my upload and download both are 4 Mbps, unlike most of the broadband connections where the download limit is high but the upload limit is very, very low. So I have a decent amount of upload limit, yet it did not work. And there was no way to resume the upload. So I tried many other things. I thought maybe I'll put my file into some cloud service, but those cloud services have a limit of a single file of 5 GB. And they also have a limit for somebody to download the file. Other than me, if somebody were to, if I were to send the link to my friend and he were to download, I have a monthly limit of downloads by others, which is a very big problem. And at the end of it, if you think about it, sending file and uploading it to a certain service provider is certainly not something which is safe enough. I mean, from the point of view of security and privacy. and I was not comfortable anyway uploading it to Google Drive, but then I thought that was the only way. There are other file sharing mechanisms where you have to again upload a 5 GB file, and they'll give you a link, then you send the link to your friend, and your friend then downloads it. But again, the limit is 5 GB, and the rest of them are paid. But none of them come even close to, a terabyte of storage. So I was thinking of how to do this. And I did a lot of research, I did a lot of work, and finally I found out a very beautiful way of doing this. And that is by using torrents. Yes, I know. The moment I say the word torrents, the word illegal, copyright law violation comes up. Well, torrents are perfectly safe and perfectly legal. The only reason people have tried to ban torrents or tried to ban sites which propagate public torrents is because they do violate copyright laws. I mean, if I create a software and somebody is distributing the software for free, that is illegal. So the torrents have got a bad name because of people using the torrent for illegal purposes. But that doesn't mean torrents by themselves are illegal. It's like saying that there is a criminal who takes a mobile phone and calls up somebody, threatens somebody and extorts money from somebody. Now that criminal, the act of threatening and extorting money is illegal. But that doesn't make the mobile phone illegal. And banning torrents is like banning mobile phones, because if there are mobile phones, then the people will use to threaten other people and extort money. It doesn't work that way. And actually, if torrents were illegal, you would not be able to download torrent clients like uTorrent or BitTorrent. You can download them for free. And they're easily available, and that's not illegal at all. So remember, torrents by themselves are not illegal. When you use torrents for illegal purposes, that act becomes illegal, not the torrent by itself. So I decided that I'm going to use this torrent and see whether it works or not. So what I did, I went ahead and created a private torrent, and I sent the torrent file to my friend. Torrent files are pretty small. They're not the complete video file. And what amazed me was he was able to download that, and he got my entire raw footage within a span of 3.5 hours. And the best part, that I sent it to 3 people. And when I sent it to 3 people, I found that the amount of data he was picking up from my computer was much less than others. Now, unlike cloud services where you have to upload something first and then the other person downloads, here the person directly pulls up the file from your computer. So you don't have to upload anything. So the time of uploading is not wasted. And in what happens is, as I said, in broadband connection, the upload speeds are pretty small. Just imagine if you have an upload limit of about 0.3 gigabytes, 0.3 Mbps, you can imagine how long it's going to take for you to upload 30 mg to a service, 30 GB to a service, and then the other person downloads it. It's going to be a big problem. Whereas in torrent, what happens is the person is pulling the file directly from your computer. It's computer to computer sharing. And the best part was privacy is maintained because nobody else has had that particular torrent. I've sent it to my friend. And the moment I sent it to my friend, he downloaded the torrent file, deleted that file from his email service, and we were finally able to exchange files securely. And the more people who joined in, the faster the process became. Because what torrent basically does is it picks bits and pieces from each computer. It does not do a linear downloading. It does bits and pieces from each computer, and the total amount of bandwidth that is required for you to enable another person to download your file decreases drastically by increasing the number of people. It works the reverse way as compared to a cloud service. There, more the people who download the file from your computer, slower the speed. Here, more the people who join in, the network expands, and you're able to send files across to multiple people's big files very quickly. So now, without wasting any more time, let's see how to create a private torrent, and let's see how we can download files using a private torrent. Well, here is my Windows laptop, and first of all, what you need to do is you need to download uTorrent if you don't have it already. So go to Google and type uTorrent. It already comes up. and go to the, I guess you can go to this uTorrent download and go to this website, and then it says free downloads. You can download it. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to do it again, but you can just go ahead and download it. And once it is downloaded, it'll ask you for installation, download and install it. And once you're installed, once you install the uTorrent, this is how it's going to look. It will create a desktop icon, and this is the interface that you will get when you download it. You get something like this. Okay, so this was something which I had done a testing with. So I'm going to remove this. Yes. All right. So you get something like this. Now what you're going to do is, first of all, you should know your IP address. And if you don't know your IP address, go to Google. And this is the public IP address that I'm talking about. So it's a public IP address that you're going to look for. You can say my IP, and it gives you a number. And I've blurred this number because it's a very private thing for me. So what you need to do is you go ahead and copy this or keep it there. You would need it in here to make the torrent. Now what you do, you have to check your port number, the port number of the uTorrent. So go to options, go to preferences, and go to connections, and it gives you a port number 40968. So what I would recommend you to do is for you to copy this so that later on when you need it, you can have it right away. So I'm going to copy this in my notes, and this is 40968. That's my port number for uTorrent. Now what you do is, now go to preferences again. You're in preferences, go to advanced, and once you go to advanced, you have to look for bt.enable_tracker. Can you see this? This guy, bt.enable_tracker. Right now it says false. You need to convert this into true. So press true here, and then OK. Now in options, you have to check your bandwidth. So again in options, go to setup guide. This is the setup guide here. Click, and you need to run tests. And remember, this is your current port number. Now both bandwidth and network should show check marks with the port number that was seen in step 2. This was the port number. If the port is not open, you got to go to your router and do port forwarding. And how to do port forwarding, I will do a separate video on that. But remember, it changes from router to router, so there is no fixed pattern for doing that. If you have no clue, try and figure out who set up your router and talk to that person and see how to forward the port. But first of all, run the tests. That will tell you whether you need to do it or not. And hopefully both port number and others should work. Let's see if it works or not. It is running both upload and download tests. And we need to get the check mark for bandwidth and network. Bandwidth and network. So let the test end. Takes a bit of time. And bandwidth is checked and my network is checked. Both are checked. If at all there is any issue, what will happen is your bandwidth will get checked. Network may not get checked because the port may not be open. So go ahead and forward the port. When you forward the port, you would also need the local IP address of this particular computer, and you will be able to find that, which is not an issue. Just go to go to command prompt and just write ipconfig, and you will find this IP4 address. if you look at this IP4 address, I get 192.168.0.4. It's a local IP address of this particular computer in my router. So you would need this for forwarding your port. So that will forward the port for this particular computer. In this case, in my case, it's checked both of them. So it's going to work now. So save and close. Now what you need to do is click Options, click Preferences, click BitTorrent, this one. And now what you need to do is in the tab IP host name to report to tracker, you got to write down your IP address. So what I'm going to do is, I already got my IP address from here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this guy here. So this is your public IP. Now apply, click OK. Now this is where, now is the time when we're going to prepare the torrent file. So go to File and you got to create a torrent. So create new torrent, click this. Now it says add file or add directory. So you can add a complete folder if you want, or you can add a particular file. Let me go and add a directory. Let me find an appropriate file. I don't want it to be too big so that we'll be able to see the end of that pretty soon. Let me, okay, go ahead. Okay, I go to this isomerism corrections. I'm going to select this folder. And once this folder is added, now you got to make certain changes. In this trackers, you got to, delete all of these and write the following. Just write http://. Now write your IP address. I've written my IP address. Then colon, now write the port number. Now remember, you should have written down the port number before. In my case it is 40968. 40968. And then / and write announce. Now hit enter. It goes to the next line. Now write http:// localhost, again colon. Now just write the port number, which is 40968 in my case. Then write / announce. Just get all your spellings right. Now what you do is, first of all, ensure that the private torrent is unchecked. Now you might wonder, aren't we creating a private torrent? Just keep it unchecked, because this private torrent is checked when you have an external tracker. Right now you don't have to bother about what that is. So keep this private torrent unchecked and ensure that the seeding is checked. And now say create. It will ask you where to save it. I save it right in the folder isomerism corrections. Save. It's saved. Now the moment it is saved, you will see it here. And it says seeding. Seeding means it is ready for other person to download it from this computer. So I close this file and right now it is seeding. Now what we're going to do is we are going to move to my Mac and we are going to see how easy it is for us to download it. But first remember, we need to send this file to our colleague or friend. In my case, I'm sending it to myself. And where am I going to find this? I'm going to find this in that isomerism corrections. And here you see a torrent file. Just attach this and just see it is 17 KB. It's not going to take any time at all. Send it. And now let's move on to the Mac. and let's see how it works out in Mac. So I'm moved on to my Mac now. So this is my Mac, and I've already got my email, and I'm going to download this. It says downloaded. I go to my downloads here. I click this. It automatically opens it in uTorrent because that is the only torrent client that I have. And it says, okay, do you want to download it? I say, yes, I want to download it. Okay. The downloading is starting. And let's see. As you can see, the download speed. Can you see this? Already 2% is downloaded. Now look at my PC. It will show you the up speed. And here you see the down speed. Both are matching because that is the only computer from which this file is being downloaded. And look at how easy it is to download. It's only 9 minutes 25 seconds. And it's a 50 megabyte file. Imagine if you were to mail it to yourself or upload it in Google Drive. Believe me, 50 MB file uploading in Google Drive itself will take you at least 20 minutes just for uploading it. And that's because generally the upload speeds are pretty slow. And then the other person has to download it. So that will take another 20-25 minutes. So it's not going to be easy. It will take a lot of time. And look at the speed. The download speed is 178 kbps right now. It keeps changing, of course. And the estimated time is 4 minutes 24 seconds. So I'm going to come back when this guy is done downloading. Now as you can see, it's 17 seconds and it's 94% downloaded, 95, and it's just about to get completely downloaded. Then this would also start seeding, and if a third party wants to do it, it will pull it up from both computers and it's done. So this is how this is done. The sound that you heard was because it got downloaded and completed, and as you can see, isomerism is completed. So this is how you download a private torrent. And as you can see in my laptop, the seeding also, the up speed is also stopped because now nobody is downloading this. So this is how you generally create a private torrent and share files between your friends. The most important part about this is that you don't have to upload it to any public website. You just have to, it's peer-to-peer sharing from your computer. Another person is directly pulling the file in, and more people that join into this network, it expands, and the amount of data that goes from your computer is going to be much less. And the person who's downloading it will get it downloaded very fast. In fact, even though the ETA that it showed me in the beginning was 9 minutes, it got downloaded in approximately 3.5 minutes. So in 3.5 minutes, I was able to transfer a 50 MB file from one machine to the other over the internet connection. Both of them are in different networks, though they are in the same home, but I've kept them in different networks just to check whether different networks works as fast as a home network. In a home network, it would work faster. So perhaps if I were to just, transfer the file from one machine to the other, probably if it is in gigabytes, it would take me a lot of time to even copy it in my pen drive and transfer it. I might even do a private torrent sharing between two computers in the same house. So it all depends upon how you want to use it, but this is one of the most effective ways of transferring huge files. And I've been able to do it with my friends and colleagues who help me edit my videos, because my friend, he's pretty good in After Effects, and I take help from him once I produce my video. And that is how we go back and forth with my entire video, which generally takes up about 11 to 20 gigs of space. So the file that I sent him was 30 gigs and I was able to get my job done. So this is the way to do it. And remember, torrents are not illegal. Private torrents are definitely not illegal. And you should be able to transfer files as long as you are very sure that you are not violating the copyright of anyone. So that was my video presentation on creating a private torrent. And this is how you can send multiple files. You can send complete folders. Instead of files, you can send complete folders. and that entire folder the other person is going to receive. There is no size limit. Everything is, and the time it takes is only limited by your upload and the other person's download speed. And if you increase the number of people you're sending it to, believe me, the amount of time it takes is much lower. Everybody is able to download the file very quickly. In fact, I tried doing that. I did a lot of research in this, as I told you before. I tried doing this and I sent the same file to 6 people and I asked them to download to see, just to check how much time it takes. The first person, remember, when I had sent the first time the file to one person, it had taken 3.5 hours. Second time when I sent it to 6 people, the total time taken was 1 hour and 10 minutes approximately. So the time became less than half by giving it to 6 people. Because what happens is everybody pulls from everybody else and the bandwidth is shared, and the total amount of data that I uploaded was much less than in the first case. In the first case, I completely gave him 30 gigabyte of file. In the second case, I think the total amount of file that I must have given was close to about 3 or 4 gigabytes. So that also becomes lesser. So this is one of the most beautiful and a very effective way of sharing files through your internet connection to your friends and families and colleagues. It works pretty well. All formats, there's no format limit. You can use any format. All you got to do is you got to have a file in your computer. You should have an internet connection. Your file should, your friend should have the internet connection. Both of you should have a torrent client, and the best way to do that is use uTorrent. Just go and download uTorrent for free, and both of you should have a uTorrent, and then follow the mechanism that I outlined in this video and you're good to go. So this is one of the best ways of sharing files between your friends, and especially files of very big size which cannot be sent via email. So I hope you liked this video and I hope you were able to understand how to use the private torrent, and I really encourage you to use it for good. In case you have any questions, any queries, any doubts, anything that you would like to comment on, please drop them in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so at the earliest. I'm going to make lots and lots of videos of this kind, which enables and makes your life much easier in terms of technology. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. You'll get a separate panel of subscriptions on your YouTube channel on the left side, and you'll be able to find my channel there, and you can directly go and see what are the videos I've uploaded, and you also get a notification every time I upload a video. In case you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button. This is Kalyan Kumar signing off, and have a great day. Goodbye and thank you for watching.